Hello, you are welcome to our first lesson for the term. This is Mr. Agbamu Idono Grene, and you can see our date Friday 9th January 2026. And our first topic for the term is simple equation. Don't forget, let me go through our scheme so that you can see it. So this is our scheme of work for the term. So I believe everybody have copied it in their notebook, and I've done revision of last time's work with our exam question based on algebraic expression. So that was what we did last. So today let's start our lesson proper. So we are starting with solution of simple equation and checking the solution after you have gotten your answer. So that is today's lesson. Let's go to our slide and continue. All right. So now in today's class, simple equation, we are looking at this objective. First objective is define an equation. You already know my system. Every topic I would like to define the topic so that you know what the topic actually means. From there, we move ahead. So today's class is not really much. It's just basic definition, basic identification of simple equations, then how do we solve simple equations involving one unknown. And that is all for the class. On Monday, we start proper. By then, most of us must have resumed. So we'll do more example, more complex examples on simple equation. But today, let's just introduce it and we'll move from there. All right, let's go to our first slide. So this is the meaning of an equation. Say in mathematics, an equation is a mathematical statement that shows that two expressions are equal. Remember last term when we did algebraic expression, we said if you make a statement like, I just say something like maybe I am thinking of a number, that number, you can use a letter to represent it, maybe X. I can say the number I'm thinking of, I add 7 to it. I can do something like this. Then I stop there. So this is just an expression in mathematics where X is the variable, that is the letter, then 7 is a constant. So I added them together and I stopped there. I just made an expression in mathematics. So if this expression, I conclude it with another expression again, and I say the result of adding a number I am thinking to 7 is, maybe I now say is 8, for example. You see that is the result is 8. You see there's now an equals to 8. So by putting an equals to 8, this statement I have here is no longer an expression, it's now an equation. That is what this definition is saying. So when you have a mathematical statement that comprises of two expressions and you now have an equals to separating them, so you have made an equation. So you can see the various example we have. X plus 3 equals to 7. This is an equation. You can see the number 2 example. I can make it a statement like a number is multiplied by 5. See, if a number is multiplied by 5, that is 5y, then the result is 20. So the result now have equals to. So this is an equation. But if I just say a number is multiplied by 5 and I stop like this is just an expression. A number multiplied by 5. So that is just an expression. If I now put the result and now say the result is 20, that is equals to. So I've made a simple equation. The same thing with a minus 4 equals to 6. That means 4 is subtracted from a number. So if you say 4 is subtracted from a number, that is a minus 4. You can see it. That is just an expression. But immediately you say the result is 6. That means you have made an equation. So that is what this statement of this definition is talking about. So let's take note of that. So that is the meaning of an equation. There are so many kind of equation in mathematics. There are different kind of equation. We are just starting equation in secondary school. We are still very young in secondary school. JH1, this is just second term. So this is the first kind of equation we are doing in secondary school, simple equation. Let's go to the next slide. So this is the first type of equation we are doing. There are so many kind of equation. We have a polynomial equation in mathematics. We have what is a binomial equation. we have a simultaneous equation, we have a quadratic equation. There are so many kind of equation, but the one they want us to learn in this class, which is our scheme of work for this term, the kind of equation they want us to learn is the simple equation. That is our first topic for the term. So now, what is a simple equation? So a simple equation contains only one unknown. You can see. So when you have an equation that have just one letter, like something like this, x plus 5 equals to 10. So this is a simple equation. Like 2y equals to 8. This is a simple equation. Like z minus 3 equals to 4. This is a simple equation. So these are the kind of questions we are going to learn in this term. And even other topics we are going to do, the plane shapes, the solid shapes, all those topics we are going to do. At the end of the day, we are going to end up using simple equation to do most of our solution. And those equations will involve just one letter. There is just one letter we are looking for, and that is the unknown, one unknown. So that is that. Let me just demonstrate something. Imagine I give you something like this to solve. Let's say y raised to power 2, and I said minus maybe 7x. That is x raised to power 2 minus 7x. And I'll do something like this plus maybe 8. Now said maybe equals to 10. So this is not a simple equation. You can see that it's much difficult than what you have here. You see what I have here now, this x even carries a number on its head, that is power. This is x raised to power 2, and now subtracted 7x from it, and now added 8, and now made it equals to 10. So this one is so big. So this is what we call quadratic equation. We are going to do this later on, but not in this class. Maybe next term, or maybe JH2. We are going to do something like this in JH2. Okay, you can imagine. Let me just do something before we go to our main work for today. Imagine I have something like let's say x, let's say plus y, let's say minus, let's say q, let's say equals to, let's say 12. And as we find the letters, can't you see that this one is much difficult than this? I have three letters, x, y, z, and x, y, q. So this is three unknown. So this is even much difficult than this. So this is not a simple equation. This is what we call a simultaneous equation. A simultaneous equation. And to solve this kind of equation, I'll need another three. So this kind of equation will give me three answers. This kind of equation in this number one here will give me two answers. You can imagine one question giving you two answers. You can imagine one question is giving you three answers. So all these are not simple equation. So the equation we are treating in this term is simple equation, something like this type, this kind of question. So this is what I want us to understand. Let me clean this off. All right, now that you know what an equation means, I know what simple equation means. Let's go to our example for the day. Now, simple equation. How do you solve simple equation? To solve simple equation, make the unknown stand alone. Just make the letter the question wanted to solve to stand alone. So when you see a question like this, question number one, solve for x, or solve the equation x plus 4 equals to 9. How do you solve this simple equation? What you need to do, make this letter to stand alone. So how do I make this letter to stand alone? Check for the number that is being added or subtracted to the letter. For example, in this question, I have x plus 4 equals to 9. So this 4 need to get out of this place and come to this side. You understand? So how can this 4 leave this place and drop to this side? So if 4 is coming to this side, remember the rules of algebraic expression. The rule says when an when a term is crossing over to the other side of the equation, if it's positive, it's going to be negative. And if the term is a negative term, it's going to be a positive term. So since 4 is crossing over to meet 9 on this side, so I'm going to have 9 minus 4. You can see it. So that is that. So x is now standing alone. So our solution will now be 9 minus 4 is going to be 5. So that is all, and that is the answer. You can see it, very simple mathematics, very simple mathematics. That's why we call it simple equation. See, this is the first set of equation we are going to learn today, which is our first topic for the term. So you can see I've gotten the answer in less than even 10 seconds. That is all. All right, let's go to, let me show you from something in Graphable Math. No, I use Graphable Math in the classroom. So in our last lesson, I showed us how to enter the site, digital whiteboard Graphable Math. Just go to your browser, type in Graphable Math, enter digital whiteboard. So you don't need to sign in, though I've already signed in as a teacher. That's why you can see my name here. But you don't need to sign in, just go there, practice your work. You can sign in if you like, learn mathematics from here. So let me impute the last example we just did. Just click on empty space if you are using this to learn. I will encourage us to learn more equation in this app. We are going to do it more in the classroom so that you know how to use it. You ask your question to help you to understand the equation very well. So as you click on empty space, the keyboard will come out. Just type your x plus 4 equals to 9. Then click enter. Then you can drag it up or wherever you want to position it in the screen. Now remember what I said, x must stand alone. And what does that mean? 4 is leaving this place to this side. So if you click on 4, you see the color will change. You see it's now blue. As you drag it across to this side, if I release my hand from my keyboard now, you see that positive 4 will turn to negative. You see it has turned to negative. That is all. That is all. So you have solved for x. So you have made x to stand alone. Then you now do your simple mathematics. 9 minus 4. Just click on the minus to give you 5. Very simple math. So I'd like us to use Graphable Math at home. Use your system at home. Practice it. Do some manipulations so that you understand these things very well. I want us to understand simple equation very well. It will help us to move ahead in mathematics. Okay, let's go to the next example and do our classwork, and that is all for today. Okay, so this is example 2 and example 3. How do we make y to stand alone in this example 2? The same thing I said. Okay, the same thing I said in the last example. Just carry your 3 out of this place. Take your 3 to this side. Now, remember something. This is 3y. This is multiplication. It's different from the other example. Remember, the other example is addition. The other example is x plus 4, see, equals to 9. So the previous example is addition. So addition cross over, understand, it becomes minus 4. This was the last example. But this is multiplication. See, 3y is multiplication. So 3y simply means 3 times, this is 3 times y. So when multiplication is crossing over, remember the opposite of multiplication is division. So in our solution now, y is going to be equals to, as 3 crosses over, it will now become division. It's going to be 15 divided by 3. Then what will now be your final answer? So 15 divided by 3 is going to give us 5. So this is the answer on number 2. So take note of that. Very important. When a multiplication, in multiplication, it will turn to division on the other side. In addition or in subtraction, it will turn to multiplication and addition in the other side. And that is why I have number 3. Let's look at number 3. So in number 3, 6 is coming to this side. Don't forget this. And take note, 6 is a negative 6. You can see that it's minus 6. So your A we are looking for now, A will now be equals to 2. So when minus 6 cross over to this side, it will become a positive 6. Final answer will now be what? Will now be 8. That is now your final answer. So you can see it. That is that. So this is our main business for today, how to solve simple equation. You can also manipulate it in graphable maths. Or before I go to graphable maths, let me do something. Now that you have gotten 5 as your answer, you can check it. You can check your results, something like this. This one is not always compulsory, but you can just do it. Especially when you are practicing like this, you can do your check. So when you check, so we said x is 5, just substitute x as 5. So when you take away 5 x from this place and you put your 5, you have your 5 plus 4, something like this. And when you solve it, 5 plus 4 is going to give you what? It's going to give you 9. So this answer is correct. Assuming you made mistake and say x is maybe you made mistake and say x is 6, and you now come and check it. You say x is 6, you now say 6 plus 4. You can see that 6 plus 4 will not give you 9. You see 6 plus 4 is giving us 10. So by the time you do something like this, you will know that you have made mistake in your answer. You quickly go and correct it. I say, no, 6 plus 4 is not 9. I have made mistake. So you can correct it and cancel it. So this is how we check our answer in this topic to be sure that we are correct. So take note of this. So the same thing with this. We got y as 5. If you want to check, the checking is very important. If you want to check if your answer is correct, you can do the same by substituting. And if you substitute y into this place, remember I've said that this is multiplication. 3y is multiplication. So this is going to be 3 multiplied by 5, which is going to be what now? So 3 times 5 is 15. You can see that you are correct. So if you mistakenly call 15 divided by 5 another number, maybe you said the answer is 7 by mistake. So by the time you are testing 3 times 7, you will see that you have made mistake. By the time you are testing it, you see that 3 times 7 is not 15, it's giving us 21. So you can easily check and make your correction. So let's erase this one. So take note of that. Then finally, in our checking, if you look at a minus 6 equals to 2, you can see that if a is 8, that means if I put 8 in this place and test it, which is 8 minus 6. So what is 8 minus 6? You can see that 8 minus 6 is giving you 2. So this is correct. So this is how we check. And in case you are practicing with your graphable math, let me take us to that graphable math. You see what we are actually doing. If you are practicing with graphable maths at home, I would like us to use it when we are practicing to help us to understand it better. So as you click your empty space, input your question. Let's say 3y equals to 15. That was number 2 example. So you can see what will happen. So if you take your 3 to this side, you see it will turn to divide. So this is what I did in class, return to division. If you wanted to do, if you want to show how you came to this place by doing divide both side by 3, you can always do that, but let's leave that. Our business is when 3 crosses to this side, it becomes division. That is how we solve simple equation. Then by the time you divide it by clicking on the division line, you see your answer is 3. Then let's continue. The last example we did was a minus 6 equals to 2. This was the last example. And if you take negative 6 to this side, it will become positive. If you click on 6 and drag it to this side, you see that minus 6 has become positive 6. Then if you click on this positive, you get your answer, which is 8. So this is what we did in our last class. If you want to be sure that this answer is correct, if you want to be sure if this answer is correct, all you just need to do is to position your what is it called now, is to check. Let's do our checking and see. Let's click empty space. Let's type the equation again. X plus 4 equals to 9. In case you want to do your checking in Graph Able Maths. So let's see. If I want to do my checking, let me move up, or let me do full screen so that I can have more space. Okay. Now that I've typed it again, if you drag this 5 into this place, you can see that it's been highlighted. As you leave it, you see that I've tested it for you. What is 5 plus 4? As you click on it, you can see that 5 plus 4 is 9. So 9 equals to 9. That means this answer is correct. If you want to test for this, just click on empty space. Just type your equation again. 3y equals to 15. So this is how you use Graph Able Maths to check for your answers. In case you are practicing with it and you want to know. So this answer you got, just drag it into here. Click and drag into here and leave it. You see it has done it for you. 3 times 5, you see it's giving us 15. As you click your multiplication, you get 15 equals to 15. That means this answer is correct. By the time you are practicing like this on your own at home, you see yourself before the end of the term, you'll be very good in simple equation. That is why I'm introducing us to this Graph Able Maths. Use it to practice your mathematics. It will help you to understand math very, very well. So that is all I have for us in this class. That is all I have for us. Just drag and drop it. You see that your answer is correct. So if there's mistake in your answer, there's no way you can minus or multiply or add to get the correct answer in the equation. So you can see the way I tested my equation after solution. So that is that. Let's go to our slide and end today's lesson. Okay, so this is our slide. So that is all for today's lesson. So before you go, don't forget to do your classwork. This is the classwork. I've marked this classwork for those of us that resume on Friday. I've marked this classwork, then do this assignment. So those of us that were not in school on Friday, just take note of the classwork, do it, and do the assignment, then submit it whenever you are available in school. Let me see how you are doing and your understanding. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for following my class in the Google Classroom. And I pray God continue to help us as we move further in our lesson. Thank you once again for watching this video. Do have a nice day.